It's okay. Okay, I think what we'll do, we'll get the for this crowd over here, and I'll send the link to everybody.
He's sending it to everybody.
How does he know? He does.
Oh.
All right, चलो करते हैं. वो मिला ही वो बिल दे चलें. Okay, ठीक. Okay, चलो बैठ. All right, so we are getting started. Sorry for the delay. Still seems like some issue with the live stream, but we can't hold any longer. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Your support is extremely important and helping us get through this very difficult time. As you probably must have seen in the pamphlet, we intend to start with a short film. It's just a collection of her pictures and videos and all the good time she spent with all of you over here, literally. And then we have some tribute from friends and family. And then we'll end the live stream and we'll have a meet and greet. So we're just going to start a quick, it's about 13-14 minutes, and that time, meantime, we'll try to fix the live stream issue. Thank you for your patience. This is the, hang on, sorry. Having all sort of difficulties today. What happened? Yeah, I think I got it.
You got a problem? Yeah, yeah. You got a problem? Yeah. It's your birthday today, and I just wanted to say, just wanted to say, just wanted to say. It's your birthday today, and I just wanted to say, just wanted to say, just wanted to say. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you. Ooh la la.
That last picture became so symbolic. We took this when she was helping us and motivating her mom for the half marathon previous time. So we'll start the tributes. I think the live stream is fine. It's okay. So first up, I'm going to call Sushil Motwani, who is our friend for a very long time. I guess in our group we were the oldest couple, and Ashlesha was the first. It was almost like a toy, and these guys have seen her grown up. So 25. But yes. All right, and please announce the next.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. This is not the occasion why I wanted to come here to talk about Ashlesha. Thank you, Avinash, Sapna, for allowing me to speak a few words, even though I feel that among all the audience out here, I'm the least qualified to speak about Ashlesha. I have known Ashlesha as a very small kid. So Ashlesha was born in November '94. I went to Dubai on a work assignment for a year and a half in November of '94. The only way I have seen Avinash and Sapna is Ashlesha as a baby. I cannot imagine them without Ashlesha. So that is really hard for me because I have never known them without kids. All the friends that we had in Dubai together, all of us either were not married or newlyweds and were not yet having kids. One of our other friends who's not here, but he's in Atlanta right now, he had a kid a month and a half after Ashlesha was born, Raghav Pujari. So we all played together. We used to go to each other's houses. And Ashlesha was a kid. We saw her learning to crawl and run around. And I've always loved kids. And she used to hang out with me. And I remember those days in Dubai when she was such a sweet, small child. And I used to like singing. And I remember singing songs of 1940 and the songs of Rangila. We went and saw Rangila together as a group. I don't know how many of you remember here from Dubai. And she liked that song, Hoja Rangila Re, a lot. And she used to dance to that song when I used to sing. So those are some of my memories. And then I left Dubai, but I always had that image about Ashlesha being a sweet child. And, in Minnesota and all those places. We moved to Boston in March, the second week of March 2000. And the third week of March 2000, they had a birthday party for Yash, second birthday. So that was my first friend meeting in the New England area, was with Avinash and Sapna's family, and everybody came from different places that we had met, and we kind of became friendly with all those folks. And at that time, we were still newlyweds, me and my wife, and we became very friendly with Avinash and Sapna, and we saw Ashlesha as a 5 or 5.5-year-old child during the birthday party, and we played with her so much. And my wife commented way back, we were living in Tewksbury, Massachusetts, which is about 80 miles from here. She said, Ashlesha is such a sweet child. I only want to have daughters. And I wish our daughter was like Ashlesha. That's what I told my wife. But not in the circumstances it is today. But I have 2 daughters now. And this is when before we had kids, we talked about Ashlesha and how loving she was. So the loss for Ashlesha, for us, it cannot be compared to what their family is going through. Okay, but the feeling, because of the small relationships that we had, whatever relationship we had to Ashlesha, the closeness that I feel and the heartbreak that I feel and my wife feels is something that we cannot bring out as friends. It cannot replace what obviously the family is going through. But I just want to say one thing, that we, over the period of time, because of the distances, lost touch as friends, and we probably were only connected on Facebook and social media. I just have a message. I feel bad that I did not get to see Ashlesha or even Avinash and Sapna for the last few years. And I have one thing that I've learned from this. Please hug your friends, meet your friends, keep in touch with them. Please hug your own kids every day. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. Hug your wife, hug your parents, hug your family and friends. That's my message I get. I miss you, Asha, and I feel very sorry for my condolences. Thank you. The next, Lindsay Thomas. Thank you.
Hi everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lindsay, and I was lucky enough to consider Ashlesha my best friend. I moved to Rhode Island when I was 11 years old. Back then, I was incredibly and painfully shy. When I was young, I would literally stand behind my mom's legs and refuse to make eye contact with anyone around me. On my first day of 7th grade, I knew no one around me, and I was basically like a lost puppy. When lunchtime rolled around and I needed somewhere to sit, I tapped on Ashlesha on the shoulder. Out of the 500 people in our school, I was drawn to her the most. And that was just the beginning. Our friendship grew and grew over the next 6 years, where it felt like we would spend every single day together. It was pretty fair to say that we were inseparable. We would study, play games, make videos, complain about our brothers, laugh about countless inside jokes and so much more. We even tried to build our own workout regimen in high school while our friends were playing field hockey. One of us would laugh as hard as we possibly could because we thought it would give us a six-pack. It didn't. We experienced a lot of firsts together, our first school dances, our first time driving without a parent, even our first scary movies. We turned on the rain and had to stop it midway through to watch SpongeBob instead because we needed to break up the scariness. He was my partner in crime throughout all of those little teenage years. When I look back on those memories, I struggle to come up with singular words for how Ashlesha affected my life. I just know that she made it fun. She had the ability to take any normal, mundane activity and just turn it into an adventure. She would eat cookies for breakfast just because she liked them. In one of our classes together junior year, on her final exam for the class, she literally, instead of writing the essay questions answers, she wrote the entire plot of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and somehow still managed to get an A+. Just because the teacher assumed she got it correct and didn't bother to read what she had written. I, on the other hand, got a B+. Every other summer when Ashlesha went to India to visit her family, we gave each other a massive bag of notes so that each day we could just open a note from the other person and still say that we talk to each other every day. They ranged from a big printout of Robert Pattinson, who was our middle school crush, to puzzles and dumb blonde jokes. I'd like to read one of them to you now that she wrote me. She said, "Hi, Lindsay. This is a note and a wrapping paper." She had actually physically wrapped the note in another note. Instead of being stupid and writing random things today, I'm going to tell you about yourself. If I was a stranger and I just met you, I'd give you an 8.6. Only because of your shyness. But you're my friend, and I know that you deserve a 10. Well, maybe actually a 9.99 with a repeating sign. You continue to put up with my crazy antics, but more you are loving and plain awesome friends. I love it when you are normal, awesome Lindsay, and I love it more when you're fun and laid back. I'm really glad I'm your friend, Lynn. You care about me in a way that none of my other friends have. You really touch my heart. Thanks for everything you do every day. I must have been really good in a past life to deserve this, huh? Love, Star. I don't know what she may have done in her past lives, but I know in this one, she was one of the most bright, creative, downright funny, charismatic people I ever got the pleasure to know. And she deserves all the love, respect, and happiness in the world. She was quirky in the most endearing ways. She viewed life in such a unique way. She was never afraid to try new things, embarrass herself, or be spontaneous. She could make me laugh, like big belly laugh, more than anyone else in my life. She helped me come out of my shell, and I'm not sure that would have happened if Ashlesha wasn't in my life. She was never concerned about my introvertedness or my awkward stage. Instead, she saw my strengths and took me under her wing. As we got older, we bonded over our love for punk rock, which you probably wouldn't have guessed by looking at us. I found it fitting to end with a quote from one of those songs. I like her because she's smart, she's headstrong and independent. She puts me in my place, and I don't know where I stand. And if I could only find the words or muster up the nerve to tell her, I'll never forget her, and she'll always be a part of me. Thank you.
Next up, we have Kriti Singh, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kriti Singh, and I'm really grateful to be given the opportunity for this tribute to such a beautiful soul. I think I've known Ashlesha ever since I was 3 or 4 years old. And for the majority of my childhood, every year we had a group of 4 families that met up for a get-together, either for Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year's or camping during summers. And I really look forward to these get-togethers. They were always a lot of fun. During these meetups, I got to be better friends with Ashlesha. She had a lot of care and love for animals, and it takes a special type of person with this animal. It's hard to be able to do something like that. Ashlesha was a really fun person to be around. She loved playing board games and card games, and she would always teach me a few games that she learned. I still play these games today. And in my senior year of high school, I just had a group of friends who I contact basically. We always used to play them together. One of the things that she told me was a game called Dust. She was really smart and confident and creative woman, and she inspired others to be as well. She encouraged my brother to join SLCC, which was a leadership program. I remember one time she was making a poster in our living room for SLCC, and she was almost done, but she added a bunch of stars around the poster. And the reason that I mention this is because it inspired me to do my best for everything that I do, even in the end, doing quite her best. She also encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone as well. In high school, I was quite shy, and I usually hung around with the same group of people. But in my senior year, after she taught the card game Dutch, I went around and I tried to teach everyone how to play and call at a group of people. So we just played that game. Even though she wasn't there with me in my high school, she made my senior year really memorable. Another thing is that she was very kind. I remember when my brother was college switching, we had UConn as one of his options. And he took an entire day out of her weekend, I guess, and she toured the campus with us, and she ate with us in the garden hall. Especially she was someone who I looked up to. I saw her as a friend and an older sister, and I will continue to strive to be like the one she was. She was confident and driven and kind, and although she left us too soon, she will live on through the memories and experiences that we shared with her.
Hey everybody, it's nice to see everybody here. I'm not surprised to see a lot of familiar faces, but a lot that I had before. Reflect. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tommy. I've played it for about 5 years, spanning from, I guess, the end of college. On for 5 years. It ended to but I kind of wanted to, I was thinking about what to say, and I kind of thought I would try to summarize her impact, like one impact that she had, I think, on everyone that she knew, and then myself specifically. So I think it's been pointed out in a few of the talks that we've heard already that she interacted with people in a way that allowed them to kind of blossom further in their own lives. I think we all know she herself is one to bring people together, anything from like clubs to parties and planning events and all the different things. They would all be very nice. Yeah, I think we had a good time. But in addition to that, she had a really good way of kind of inspiring other people and showing them that they were kind of capable of doing the same thing. And I don't know, it's the kind of thing where to do something nice and create a nice event is that lasts for some time, but to be able to teach other people to be that way is something else entirely, and that it kind of propagates and goes on forever. So that's beautiful. Then to kind of talk about me in particular, it's kind of a difficult to describe thing. So I always sort of thought that as when I was younger, kind of tended to gravitate towards trying my best to find people who were similar to me, because it feels good to find people who are as similar to you as possible. Because it kind of feels initially like that. That's what feels good. And I think that because in a large part that allows you to kind of see yourself as a whole person. In getting to know her, she kind of taught me the other half of love in life, in that so think about being in a relationship, you need to have a lot in common. And, she's a Scorpio, Pisces, that's a nice thing. But so there's a baseline thing there, but it's kind of in the way that she would take in the world around her and respond with funny things. And I think I was kind of the 30% of our relationship, which is nice. And it was in the way that it seemed like the things that would come out of her, the things that I would never think of in a million years. Like the million monkey typewriters, that whole thing, it never came out. So I was talking to my friends about what example to give, and every single one of them, that's too weird, you can't say that in front of these people, you have no idea what they're like. Even though it's like a compilation, I have tons of my favorite stories. Sometimes I enjoy this one. We all knew Ashlesha, I mean, passion for a lot of things. Passion for medicine, science. Her college research was about mice and mice, brains, that whole thing. And then her first job at Brain Lab was at Lindsay. Very interested in anatomy, very interested in that sort of thing. So there's a period of our relationship when we lived in Norfolk and I had moved to Philadelphia for grad school, so I was visiting on weekends. And so I was driving for a long time. Well, I eventually arrived. At some point, I know about the kitchen, and I look on top of her microwave because she's got a pile of potatoes, obviously, the potatoes one. And one of the potatoes was a little separate from the other one. Looked like it had already been peeled or shaven, however the word is. So I went up to it, and lo and behold, it was the skull of a raccoon that she had found. It was perfectly clean. It was really nice, actually. But at the same time, it was mixed with food, so I kind of had to, as a course, I was in the kitchen in the living room. Hey, what's going on here? She said, what? I said, what's on top of your microwave? She runs and she's like, oh, okay. Well, took out a raccoon skull. And I was like, well, why did you put it next to food? And she was like, well, it's the same shape and size of potatoes, so it kind of belongs there. Yeah, it's just, and there's a ton of other stuff to talk about, but it was moments like that I mean, at that moment, I was speechless for about 5 minutes, and then I laughed for about 10. And I think about it every 2 weeks. And I'm so excited. Yeah, but I think we all love that.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Ashlesha's Viji Maushi. Known her since she was, I think, 6 or 7 months old, baby. The most adorable, the cutest one. It's hard to say things about her. Everybody has been saying so many nicest and like funniest and all those things. And I will also just say just few more words about her. She was like a daughter to all of us, and of course she will be with us forever. I remember the very first time we met her when she was about 9 or 10 months old and already very independent at that age. We were having some pakoras, fritters, vegetable fritters, and her mom wanted to feed her, Sapna. But she just refused. She then went to walk by herself, holding the sides of the table, and pick up those small crumbs from the plate. But dad also joked, yeah, maybe we don't see her at all at home. She was that independent since that age. She was very caring, responsible person. Growing up, few of our families used to go camping together. We did almost like for 12 years, 14 years, I'm not sure. Although she was young herself, she always used to keep a watch over the younger ones. Like all the other kids who were younger ones, she used to keep a watch over them and made sure that they didn't get into any trouble. Some kids even complained, oh, we have another mom here, or what, to keep an eye on us in camping. Anyway, so she stayed with us while she was visiting New York. She wanted to visit her friends, and that time she stayed with us in New Jersey for a few days. Her helping nature didn't let her sit back and enjoy her vacation time. She helped around the kitchen and also cooked her special dish of butter chicken for all of us. I mean, that was her, always thinking about others. Like she wanted to have fun with her friends, but she always thought about us. Oh, okay, I have come here. I want to do something for Vijay Maushi and everyone. Kids had really good fun, and we all have good memories of her visit. She was social and wanted to part of everything that was going on, whether it's a dance party, as you must have seen, or performing other dramas or this and that. She always made sure that all other kids were involved in it. Tie-dye painting, shopping for stuff, or just playing cards. She taught us some new card games that we have fun playing even today. However, in those games, she was always competitive. She wouldn't let us win. So, Ashlesha Para, we miss you. We all miss you, and we will remember you day and night. Me and the kids all say farewell to you. Om Shanti. Thank you all.
So I wrote some words on paper, but left it in my plate. So I'm just going to freeball this right here. But, yeah, so I want to tell the story of how I met Ashlesha. We met about 2 years ago. We were working for the same company. I don't know libel laws. It was a terrible company. But basically, she was the sales, she was a clinical specialist. I was sales. And my job was to say the highs. She would come in, do all the smart stuff, talk about the product. And then I would, try to convince them to buy it. So she did all the smart stuff. And I always knew I could rely on her. That was one thing. Whenever the doctors would ask questions, she could go eye to eye, toe to toe with them. She knew herself. And that was my first impression of her when we met. Later on, we kept working together, and then a time came where we both ended up leaving the company on the very same day. Complicated situation, but she left right after I did because she was such a good friend. You don't get that often. You don't get those kinds of people in life often. So, yeah, we kept in touch. Last spoke to her about 2 months ago, I think. But I'll miss her. She was a great person. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashlesha. I was Ashlesha's friend when I was in school. We first met in the 5th grade at Hanford Elementary School. We first met in the 5th grade, and I wish that I could say that it was love at first sight, but the truth was that we didn't hit it off right away. We were both new in school and very eager to impress our teachers, and I think that created a little bit of competition. At some point, we were together, and we quickly realized that our combined powers far exceeded what either of us could do on our own. From then on, our classes, friends, and families were treated to a series of jury productions that got more wild and outlandish as we tested the limits of what we could accomplish as a team. There were puppet shows, costume shows, cooking competitions, documentaries, short films, dance routines. I was never particularly outgoing, we took the themes that a lot of us have brought up tonight. But with Ashlesha, I tried and enjoyed experiences that I never would have done alone. Although I do still cringe a little when I think about the time that we emceed the middle school talent show. She was so creative. Most of my memories of that time in my life are rooted in the hours that we spent together. It wasn't all that, but even flashcards and math worksheets were less monotonous when we did them together. And our good grades provided us cover to get away with some nonsense. We passed notes mercilessly and roped friends into our non-academic activities. Last weekend, I went digging through my room, looking for memories of Ashlesha, and I didn't have to look hard. Notes and drawings from her fell out of every drawer and box that I opened. Printed books on my shelves and screened throughout my high school desk. And I'm sure that many of her friends and family can relate to this experience because she was very prolific and showing too much she cared about them. Ahead of time, one for each day of her trip. And I have one here that I wanted to share, not because it was particularly, I don't know, I just opened it and it made me smile and think of her. So this one says to open her invitation. I think it was like to break at the time. Hello, it's vacation time. No school for like a week. At least I won't have any work that I'll have to make up for these next days. And then I will be back, as I will watch later would say. And he became governor of California. Anyways, you guys are going to freeze over in the snow, but you'll have fun. Throw snowballs, make snowmen, because obviously global warming has not affected the weather, or at least the weather doesn't know it yet. I, on the other hand, will be in a warm, sunny tropical light breeze, enjoying the sun, Of course, it is a completely other topic that I'm going to be stuck inside with presents that were on sale to wrap and dresses to try on because I still don't know which one I want to wear. But that was completely okay. Make a snowman for me, and then stick a spatula in his hand and give it a promotion. I don't know. But, you know, like weird, stupid things like that. Like everyone here knows, right? Like, so good. So yeah, I don't know. As we got older, we traded in our walks to middle school for bus rides to the high school. And then once we got our driver's permits, we took turns picking each other up for school in the morning. We went to college and we grew apart a little bit as we settled into our lives. But even though we were separated by distance and time, her presence in my life is everywhere. The art on my walls, my partner Alex, who she introduced me to, the playlists that I still listen to, and just the way that I experience every day and figure out how to make it fun and weird and interesting. Yeah, they're all good to me. I think when someone passes on, there can be a tendency to cope in a goal and try to remember only the good things and let death make them perfect. But I wouldn't want to see that happen because if all of it good and difficult, that makes someone really interesting. And it's like, she was so interesting. She was hilarious and caring and so smart and resourceful. And when she told you that she loved you, you felt like the world. She was proud and bossy and terrible at baking. And if she was mad at you, it felt like the end of the world. She was competitive and playful and fiercely loyal. And I'm sorry that we didn't have more time. But I'm so grateful for the time that we did have. And I'll always hold this long afternoon talking in the maple tree. Bless my heart.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashlesha's dad, a very proud dad. And for some reason, if I cannot continue, my good friend from high school will continue on my behalf. First, let me thank everyone for your presence over here and all those who you are virtual right there. I know it's a lot of different time zones. It is truly, truly appreciated. Special thanks to all those who traveled from far, Chicago and Vernon. Really, really appreciate that as well. And many thanks to all the speakers. Very kind words. Really, really appreciate for sharing all the wonderful thoughts, memories. Some that we probably forgot, like the raccoon example that Tommy mentioned. Thanks for that. In my case, I'm the father, obviously, so lots of memories to share. You guys are going to be here all night. Let me start with the birth. When she was born, we were 100% sure her eyes were black. And this is early mid-90s. And as in most of you know, I'm a Bollywood music loving. The father that I was, I wanted to sing to her some song that I would sing to her every day. So that was a very popular Bollywood song at that time. Ye Kali Kali Aankhein, I think many people know it. It loosely translates to Black Eyed Beauty. By the way, never translate literally any Bollywood song. The meaning doesn't come out what it is. So anyway, I continued singing to her when she was sleeping, night, whenever, for the next few days. As it turns out, her eyes were actually brown. Now, we were told that babies change, and I'm thinking, so do their eye colors. I hope there's no doctor over here, but I'm sticking to that story. Her eyes changed. I was right first time on song. But the point here is that she started making fun of me right there when she was born, and fooled me rather. Continued through her life. One very later example I can give when all the technology and stuff. We have a called family chat, right? So we had our own group chat to the four of us, and I thought my humor is good. Some of you may not disagree, my friends especially. So every time I would do something funny, witty, she came up with a special emoji. She would instantly hit that emoji, like 95% of the time. And even if it was funny, I thought she would, no matter what she was doing, how busy. So I guess some of the points that everybody made, she really had a humor, very witty, made us laugh. Similarly, a few years later, when we moved to our basement got flooded. This is not the historic flood of 2010. Much before that, I think she was 11 or 12 years old, something like that. Well, it turns out that day Ashlesha had her sleepover, and it so happened there was a storm. First time we had moved in like a year or so, a lot of stress, right? Basement is flooding. So when the girl found out that there is a lot of water in the flood, but guess what? She came to me and asked me, "Hey, Dad, can we make paper boats and play in the water, please?" And I said, "No." A little stressful sign, but you saw, I think, in the video, one of the later when we had this sort of flooding, a lot of help, both my kids. So I think the message here was when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You know, she just made light of the situation, and let's use it while we're sitting. Maybe she got to go to school. The other thing I want to talk about is after she moved out, first time visiting her when she's on her own, right? So this was in Virginia, and Tommy was there too. And I think for an Indian American parent, this is a big thing to when you see your kids grown up, and especially if you have yourself grown in a joint family like most of us have, and especially if you are cheap parents like same Mofato. We stayed with her. She had settled down in Virginia. We spent some time with her. And imagine moving out of the house, being independent, on her own for a couple of years. She hosted us, and she did a great job. And we stayed there for 2 weeks. I was working from them. She had a different room. Like Evie said, not all great, but she was messy. No two ways about it. All over things. So that was there. But she did an excellent job of managing her job and us too. I'm always surprised that even though she's messy, if you need something, she would find it. I don't know how she did, but that is a skill maybe she got from mom. But the point again here is he made us comfortable. We loved it, and then we kept going. And she still felt comfortable. No pressure yet. She was very creative as well. Tried a lot of things, painting, various art forms. She taught herself how to play ukulele. And in the last few years, she specifically developed an interest for cross stitching. And I must say she got very good at it. She even made me a motorcycle cross stitch, which is funny because she knew how my bike looks, how my make was. She just Googled a bike, and she it's an Indian bike, and I was joking, this is not my bike. She said, "What is this? It's a bike. It looks like your bike." But some of our hardcore bikers will be like, "No, it's not." But she did again, the thought and how she went about it, and it really came up with you. You guys can check it out later. Anyways, getting towards the end here, I wanted to talk about her name. There is a poem in there. We don't know if she wrote it herself or somebody else wrote it for her. If you know it, if her friends, anybody knows who's the author, let us know. But I think Ashlesha, the name, she's named after a star. There are 28 or so galaxies. It comes from the Hindu mythology. It's called Nakshatra. And loosely translated, it means the one who does not like to be defeated. And I think that was mostly true about her nature. She gave a good fight when it made sense. But she was also smart, I think, to know it is okay to accept defeat or loss, learn from it, and move. So that's something I will also take and observe her. In the pamphlet that you have on your table, there's a poem again I mentioned. I'm just going to read the last verse. In closing, one day we'll hear the name and smile the same. We saw greatness spreading her wings, soaring to new heights, but not into the Death Star, into her own star and others to gaze and wonder. We love you, Ashlesha. We'll miss you forever. Thank you again for your love and support.
thank you all again, everyone, for joining us. I will also just start off with a quick thank you. I know we've said a lot of thank yous, but this has just been such a crazy time in all of our lives, and I just don't know what I would have done with all the support that I've had, so thank you. Thank you to all the people watching from home as well. As for the rest of the speech, I'm already pretty emotional, and I haven't made it through a practice run, but I've already thanked you for your patience, so hopefully you'll continue with that. When I sat down to write the speech and think about this, I wasn't really sure what to talk about. I thought about what the point of a eulogy was. Is it for you to all get a chance to hear my sister's life story? Is it a chance for me to get something off of my chest? I wasn't really sure why I was writing this. Then I remembered a book that my sister showed me when I was in middle school. And it's been one of my favorites ever since. It's a book called Elsewhere. And in that book, I don't want to spoil it, but in that book, a girl passes away, and the entire book is about her experience with the afterlife. And in that book, everybody gets to watch their own funeral. And I haven't been able to come to terms with, the afterlife or kind of where my sister might be right now, but I thought that if she maybe has a chance to watch this, I might write something for her. So if you're watching, I love you. I hope you looked at tonight and you saw how much you were and will continue to be loved and cherished by everyone here. I know you probably care about this the most. Kenny is being well taken care of. We kept him, my parents have taken care of him. It's incredibly hard without you being here, but a friend of mine told me that your passing doesn't mean the end of our relationship. It just means we have to find a way to navigate a new type of relationship. I'm working on that part right now. It gives me peace knowing that somewhere, in memory or heart or soul, you are with me still. I am so thankful to you for being caring, protective, my life. Like the way we shared a look when mom or dad said something funny, or the way you could say brother with 3 syllables when you were excited to see me. And there are memories that I will hold on with you for the rest of my life as well. I won't forget the times that you let me hang out with you and your friends, and all I had to do was let you paint my nails. I won't forget the time that you flew down to see me for my birthday, only 2 months ago. And you wanted to put all 24 candles into a single cupcake, even though it wouldn't fit. When I jokingly asked about where my present was, you said that you flying in was the present. We laughed, but in hindsight, the chance to see you and be with your family is the best present I've ever received. I'm sorry about a few things as well, like the time that we were kids and I bit you, claiming it was an accident on purpose. I'm sorry that mom and dad thought that excuse was so funny I got away with it. Above all, sorry for all the times that I thought that I loved you and I didn't say it out loud. I know you knew, but I wish so badly that I had another chance. I think for those of you who haven't experienced this kind of loss, my sister, I've known her my whole life. It's like the sun coming up every day, and then one day the sun just stopped coming up. And I don't think that there is a way to move forward the same way that we did when she was here. But I think that what we can do is love and cherish the memories that we had with her and remember. Thank you all so much for being here and your love and support. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. All the good stuff, the memories shared on her tribute wall is really incredible. So this will end the live stream. We'll do a meet and greet here. There are some refreshments and drinks. Please help yourself. We'll be here for however long it takes. If you have any stories to share, speak to us. This is the point where we'll drop the mainstream and we'll be hanging around for others. Thank you very much.
And sorry, thank you. One more thing. We have a memo in that table over there. So if you please get a chance to sign it, that'd be appreciated. Thank you. And we also have like some notes and stuff on permits that we found that she's kept for all of you. We thought that you'd like to see it. So this table and kind of all around, please feel free to give it a look. Thank you.